my better half would fade, I'll follow you down.
Everything that rocks, Laser 103.3. Of course, you heard about the Yonkers fire. And there are some lane closures to tell you about. Locust and Walnut Streets closed between 6th and 8th Streets. 6th Street, however, open to northbound traffic. Eastbound traffic on Locust will be able to turn north on 8th Street. 7th and 8th Streets will be closed between Locust and Mulberry Streets. Mulberry Street will open to east and westbound traffic as normal. In addition to that, Partnership Building parking ramp at 7th and Locust Streets is closed. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on Laser 103.3. No, not really. Brian O'Keefe is from the Des Moines Fire Department. He joins us now on this Yonkers fire. Congratulations on putting out that fire to you and your whole crew that contributed.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that.
That was a big one, right?
The biggest one I've been around in a while, that's
really?
for sure. Yes.
What did the other guys say as far as the fires they've dealt with and the scope of this one compared to the bigger ones they've had?
Square footage-wise, height of a building is, and the volume and size of the fire, it's the biggest we've had. We've had taller buildings in Des Moines, upper-level fires that have those challenges. But in this case, we almost immediately went to that defensive posture, so we didn't get a chance to get inside and fight it just because of how fast it was growing and the collapse.
How do you know, like, as far as survivors, people inside the building, how do you determine if they're, okay, who's in there and how do we get them out? Where does that process begin?
Well, the building was under remodel, demolition.
So you pretty much think that it's empty?
So, yes, there was no legal... No one had any legal right to occupy that. I know it's more of a building code issue.
Okay.
But there's an assumption that no one was in there just because it was under remodel. But we have no reports of anyone missing, no calls from inside the fire, and the fact that it wasn't... it was under a remodel condition, and there's no place to occupy or stay.
How great. And, well, I mean, you guys are literally downtown, so, I mean, proximity to the fire, it was great that you guys could get there, but how scary, because it's connected. Everything is so congested down there. I'm sure there was a huge fear that it was going to spread.
Well, that is true, and like that building was built over 110 years ago, 114 years ago. So in those days, they built walls 2 feet thick to protect that heat from radiating through to another building. Today, we use other technologies. The EMC building that's immediately to the south, they use sprinkler system, fire alarm system, smoke evacuation system. So there's different methods today to protect that heat and the structure itself.
And was the skywalk damaged at all?
Absolutely. We had actually had one of our firefighters in the skywalk spraying water when the scaffolding and materials came down. He a little startled by that.
I imagine.
But not hurt?
No, not hurt.
Nobody was hurt on this, right?
We had one late report of a firefighter that had some debris strike his helmet, but he wasn't treated or transported. It's stuff we like to document, a compression injury potentially.
Knock to the noggin type of thing.
Kind of a two-part question. One, what was your holy crap moment that night? And the second part is what's next? What goes on from here on out?
For me personally, as soon as the second alarm went out, I was at home brushing my teeth, so I turned on the radio, and then seconds later they went to a third alarm. So I was listening to the fire captain that was inside the building as he's beelining out of it, and then once you arrive and you see the size of it, I instantly reported to the incident commander, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go over to the EMC building and check their fire alarm panel."
It was
and
a scary-looking fire, something straight out of like a movie or something.
Yeah, with the scaffolding, but you don't typically get 4 stories going simultaneously and all venting out. It didn't have glass in all the windows, and so there's plastic, so you get that free flow of air and that vertical development. And because you had firewalls on the north and the west side, all that heat radiated towards EMC and the hub tower. So they
had installed the sprinkler system, but it was not officially hooked up, right, in that building?
Yes, and that's something that the whole process from hey, we want to alter this building to completing it. That's reviewed by building and fire officials to say, okay, what's your plan? We discuss whether it's fuel that you can bring inside the building, temporary heating, storage, and then you have to maintain the standpipe, which is a big steel pipe that we plug into so we can get right up to the floor, the affected floor. So there's a contingency plan, for the potential of a fire. We have them follow some basic rules.
But they hadn't gotten to that part yet, right? Did I read that wrong? Or
Well, that's something we haven't, that I'm unaware of, that they've evaluated or spoken with the company that's in charge of the remodel itself, but that will be reviewed.
Brian O'Keefe from the Des Moines Fire Department on the Yonkers fire from this past weekend. Do we have any inclination as to what started the fire? Nothing. I know that the ATF, whatever they're called now, they're coming in to investigate.
Yeah.
Well, there's several agencies, aren't there?
Sure. What we did, Chief DeKipp was aware of that resource, so we work routinely with the local ATF agent out of the 210 Walnut Federal Building, and they'll assist. They have a protocol or mandate under certain fire conditions whether they respond. But in this case, we got a hold of them, and they said, hey, we have a national response team. And these are subject matter experts, from structural to chemist, cause and origin, that can come in there, sift through it, and they've worked, anything you've seen big on TV. That team, prime example, 9/11 they were at, Waco they were at. So whether it's man-made or accidental, a structural issue or explosion or fire, but for the city of Des Moines, we met the criteria because of the size of the fire, dollar loss, and impact on the community. And they said, we want to see that relationship between an old building and the impact it has. And so this morning at 8 o'clock, we're going to meet with their team members and see what we can do to move forward.
Yeah, and I know you got a role because of that. But what other fire departments were involved with this besides Des Moines? I hear Norwalk, maybe Urbandale?
We had West Des Moines, Urbandale, and Clive. We utilized one of West Des Moines ladder trucks on the west side, and it was a huge advantage. Just having 4 to 6 more people. They brought about 10, but just to be able to rotate crews so they can get a break. 4 or 5 hours into a fire. There's some stress and fatigue, and sometimes you just need to go to the bathroom.
How many total?
Happens.
You just whiz on the fire. How many total firefighters were involved?
Well, we cycled through, but at the peak we were over 80.
Wow.
Wow.
Brian O'Keefe from Des Moines Fire Department on the Yonkers fire. We'll let you go.
All right.
Appreciate you
Good
coming
day.
in.
Thanks
and
for having me.
Thanks for your work on that fire, and thank everybody and all the crews for us.
I'll do that.
Appreciate it, because that could have been a whole lot worse. Being close to the
true.
adjacent buildings, right?
Yeah, and that's why we had that, the glass exposure and such. But yeah, no, we're really proud of how it's gone so far.
All right, Brian, we appreciate it again. Thank you.